Good afternoon to all, and welcome to the 13th episode of Wednesday Wisdom. So, today we have chosen the topic, which is a very upcoming subject and going to be a hot cake in future. It is natural and synthetic ester for transformers. The objective of this program is to give a general awareness about these alternative insulating fluids, which are uh, coming up very fast in Indian context also as well as international context due to their various superior properties compared to mineral oil. So a little bit about North Star. North Star as now most of the people are quite regular to our program, so they know well about our areas of activities. We are into three, four different categories. Out of this is consulting, where mainly we are providing our consultancy to transform manufacturers and end users, and also we are consulting to other product manufacturers like Savita Polymers, where we support them in application of synthetic and natural esters. Then we provide plant engineering support to transform manufacturers, which is starting from factory layout to factory setup and providing all technical support to equipment acquisition like complicated machineries like wafer phase drying plant or cast resin transfer plant or oil filtration and handling like that. And then we support in improving the business performance in terms of delivery, inventory, or productivity, or plant capacity utilization, or production planning control, and likewise. And then design and cost automation is another area where we provide optimized design to transform manufacturers. Second area of our intervention is field services, where we have dedicated team of experienced engineers and technicians, and we take up end-to-end site support, starting from erection, testing, commissioning to troubleshooting to annual maintenance contracts to diagnostic, providing spares, all kind of spares like condenser bushings or epoxy bushings or CTs, instruments, insulating oils, all type of spares we provide. And we also support our customers in carrying out the diagnostics, and that includes assessment of remaining life of transformer. That comes very useful when we think about replacing the existing mineral oil with natural or synthetic esters. Then we are we are also doing sharing of knowledge and information, because we feel that there is a good amount of scope, especially for the young engineers who come into the professional life, and they are not taught about their uh, role and job knowledge in a systematic way. They are supposed to learn from their seniors and by making mistakes and on their own. So this is an effort to provide systematic information mainly to young engineers. In this fold, we are conducting seminars, workshops, classroom trainings, and now also webinars. So we can say that is a gift of COVID-19 that we had also started conducting a lot of webinars. And this webinar is, today's webinar is one such offering under North Star Knowledge Academy. Then we are also into providing different industrial and power solutions for our customers, which can address their perennial day-to-day issues in a very innovative and not run-of-the-mill approach. We have our principals, Savita Polymers, Streamer Electric, and Motwane, and we have a host of different solutions starting from fire prevention in power panels, then online moisture management of transformers, lightning protection of overhead lines, online monitoring of transformer performance, and then K-class insulating liquids. And also we have very innovative technology or technique of drying out the transformers at site by employing low frequency heating concept. So that comes from our another partner. And that way we are into these kind of support systems. Then this is about me, that I'm in transformers around 27 years experience, and worked in different roles and responsibilities and departments and functions. And I am an MTech from Bhopal, MNIT Bhopal, and I have handled these activities starting from operations, customer service, sourcing, plant operations, projects, and all those things. And I worked with companies like Crompton Greaves, Transformer Rectifiers, Arriva or Schneider, and Rechem RPG. So today's agenda is we will be starting about insulating liquids. What are different type of liquids? Then we will talk about mineral oil. We'll discuss about mineral oil. Then we'll move to other alternatives, and we will talk in little bit detail about esters and their application for transformers. We will discuss different properties of esters. Then we will talk about application aspect and some frequently asked questions about natural and synthetic esters. And briefly, we will share our offerings in solutions, and then we will take up the question and answer session. So, what are the insulating liquids? What should be an ideal insulating liquid should have the properties. So, it should have a high electrical strength, impulse strength, and volume resistivity. Then dissipation factor, dielectric dissipation factor should be low. Then it should be chemically stable. It shouldn't be very volatile or very frequently reacting with the things and not stable in nature. It should have a very excellent gas absorbing properties because transformers generate gases during its operation. Then at lower temperature, the flowability should be good. That means the viscosity should be low, and it should have higher flash and fire point because there is arcing inside, there is over temperature inside, and the paper is there, so it shouldn't be conducive to the starting of fire and continuity of the fire. It should be having low density, and it should have high arc quenching capability. It shouldn't be flammable, and it should not be toxic. So it should be neutral from that purpose. So an ideal insulating liquid should have these properties. And what role an insulating liquid plays in particularly in case of transformers? So it plays 6 types of roles, starting from electrical insulation, then it acts as a coolant. It is a chemical, a neutral chemical inside, so provide an inert atmosphere inside the transformers. It should be a drying out medium because of its low viscosity and high thermal conductivity. It helps in taking out the moisture from the transformer components, especially solid insulation. Then being liquid, being a viscous liquid, it acts as a dampener, that is a shock absorber. So any forces, impacts coming on the winding, it is absorbed by the oil, and it is an excellent arc suppressor. So it helps in quenching any fire or any arcing inside the transformer. So if you look at the journey of insulating liquids, so when the transformers got invented and came into commercial production, the liquid insulation was vegetable oils, normal edible vegetable oils used to be put inside the transformer as an insulating liquid. Then mineral oil came into existence in 1930. Then in 1970 till 1970s, PCBs and stars were used in the transformers. Due to carcinogenic properties and other harmful effects, PCBs were banned, and in 1970, synthetic esters also came in the picture. So along with mineral oil, synthetic esters were also available as an insulating liquid in the transformers. And in 1990s, the natural esters were invented, and the circle gets completed over here because again, natural esters are nothing but vegetable oils because they are made from oil seeds like soybean or canola. In India, mostly the natural ester is made from soybean seeds. So let us look at what is mineral oil. So mineral oil is a petroleum-based liquid, and it is derived by fractional distillation of crude oil. And based on the source from where the crude oil is coming, there are 2 varieties in the mineral oil. One is naphthenic oil, which is rich in bitumen. It is oxidic. It is sludging is high, so sludge formation is high, but the sludge dissolves in oil. Second is paraffinic oil, which is very rich in wax and also high content of the gas. It has got very high pour point, means viscosity is higher. The sludging is high, but The negative part or more dangerous part with paraffinic oil is that the sludge is not soluble in the oil and it settles in the bottom. But it is easily available in India, so it is more popular in Indian context. Based on the additives, because to improve the property of mineral oil, there are certain additives are added into it, and the purpose of those additives mainly is to improve the antioxidant properties, improve the pore point, and other similar properties. So based on that, there are uninhibited oils where no antioxidant additives are added. There could be some other additives like a pore point improvement and all. Inhibited oil are added with antioxidants, which is ranging from 0.08% to 0.4%, and they are, because of the these antioxidant material added to it, they are superior as far as the performance against sludging and other oxidation effects are concerned. So how these oils are processed from crude oil? So there are three ways. Number one is distillation route, where the oil is distillated in fractional distillation. Then the different solvent are extracted out of it. It is passed through the clay treatment, and then it is filtered and it is available as a pure transformer oil. Second route is hydrogenation, that again clay treatment and filtration. And third route is acidification, then treating with alkali, giving alkali wash, then clay treatment and filtration. So depending upon the properties of crude oil, any of these three processes are used for the distillation of the transformer oil. So what are the standards which are used for mineral oil? IS 335, it is 2018, and it is recommended limits for new and uninhibited mineral oils is mentioned in IS 335. So please note, when you are purchasing a new oil, fresh oil, then IS 335 is applicable. When you use the oil in the transformer and you wish to test that oil which is inside the transformer, then IS 335 will no longer be applicable. It will be IS 1866 2000, which is about maintenance and supervision practices for mineral oil. Okay, then IS 60296, IEC 60296 is there, which is for new insulating mineral oils, which is basically IS 335 is based on IEC 60296. Then IEC 60422, which is again for maintenance supervision guide for mineral oils, that is used oil or the oils which are available inside the equipment. Then there are standards like IEEE C57.104 1991, which is for the DGA of transformer oils to understand the trend in the of the gases inside the transformer. So IEEE C57 is referred, and ASTM D13361202 2017 version is again, it is for understanding the DGA of transformer oil. So what I mean to say, add over here, all these standards are for mineral oil. They are not for synthetic or natural esters. For example, if you look at the DGA, so the DGA of this natural and synthetic ester could be little bit different than for mineral oil, because all these references are formed even for dielectric tests like 10 delta. The reference values based on the compilation of data of transformers which were already manufactured. So those transformers were made with mineral oil and the paper-based insulation. So same amount, same kind of data will not be applicable for other insulation system like synthetic ester or natural ester and solid insulation combination. So that point is to be taken into consideration when we are referring to these standards with respect to natural and synthetic esters. These are the typical values as per different standards for the new or virgin insulating oils, mineral oils. We'll see for IS 335 appearance like this, density is there 0.85 to 0.88. So these are the properties which are applicable for new transformer oil. Flash point, you can see it is 140, pore point is -6, BDV Unfiltered oil is when you are receiving in a tanker in your factory, it is 30 kV, and when you filter it, it should be minimum 60 kV. So likewise, these values are mentioned in different standards like IS 335, ISC 296, and likewise. Uh, Corrosive sulfur is there, then oxidation inhibitor is there. It should not be more than 0.05% maximum. Water content, again, it is 50 ppm. And accelerated aging test, if it is performed, then these are the limits given. Okay. PCB is in all the standards, it should be nil or non-detectable. Total furan, IS and IEC are silent about it, but British Standard 148 has mentioned some limit, and polycyclic aromatic, again British Standard is mentioning some limit, which is not into IC and IS. With mineral oils, the new alternatives were also being developed, like silicones, fluorocarbons, and esters. And we are going to talk about today esters for transformers. So there are two types of esters. One is natural ester and second is synthetic ester. As the name suggests, natural ester is made from natural resources, natural oil seeds like soybean, and the applicable standard for natural ester is IEC 62770-2013 and Indian standard 16659-2017. For synthetic ester, IEC standard is 61099-2010 and IS is 16081-2013. So what are the esters and why we should use esters into our transformers in place of mineral oil? Transformers are notorious for catching fire, failing unpredictably. It is a wrong word saying unpredictably, but fact is that suddenly transformer fails, and the failure is so violent that it uh, results into a huge fire and causing big damage to the property and life. So oil field transformers are considered to be unsafe as far as the safety is concerned of people and property. Many incidences have happened and are happening. Upahar tragedy is one such tragedy where a cinema hall in Delhi, a transformer got failed, bursted, caught fire, and many people died. After that tragedy, the ruling came that in complexes and crowded places, oil field transformers cannot be used due to the type transformer. So, considering all these things, synthetic and natural esters offer a great fire safety, and because of their high flash point of the order of 300 degrees centigrade, which is more than double of mineral oil, they are comparatively much fire safe as compared to mineral oil. I'm not saying fireproof; they are safer than mineral oil because they will catch fire at a temperature of 300 degrees centigrade, where mineral oil will catch fire at a temperature of around 140 degrees centigrade. Then they have got excellent moisture absorption capabilities. As you know, moisture is, you can say, the enemy of the transformer, especially oil field transformer or any electrical device. The water is the enemy. In case of transformer, the insulation, solid insulation is used, which is cellulose based, and cellulose is nothing but paper pulp. So paper is quite friendly to the moisture, and the moisture absorbed by the paper causing the degradation of its electrical properties. So if the moisture is prevented by traveling to the paper and it is absorbed by the liquid insulation, then the properties of the solid insulation will remain as good as new, and the transformer chances of failure will be low. So any moisture going inside the transformer or getting generated inside the transformer will remain in esters, and it will not be floating freely, and it will not be going towards a solid insulation. So your transformer runs almost dry condition. So the dielectric properties are maintained over the life, and the deterioration to the electrical as well as cooling properties are very slow. Then these are environment friendly, considering the degradation of environment because of various factors. This is a very important property because they are quite degradable. Synthetic ester and natural ester particularly is 100% biodegradable, and it causes no harm to water bodies as well as soil. So soil pollution, water pollution is nil, and they can be used over a high load, that is overloading capacity of transformer which are made from these material is very high. So in India particularly, where overloading is a common phenomena, these esters can uh, be very useful as far as the transformer premature failure or accidents are concerned because of overloading. And then they provide a very long life for the transformer. Many times it is found that 2.5 to 3 times life extension happens when you opt for esters. So these are excellent properties which are not available in mineral oil, and because of these properties, the life of the transformer, usability of the transformer, safety of the transformer improves multifold. So that's why these esters are quite preferable as far as the transformers are concerned. So what are the ester liquids? So ester liquids are made from natural esters are made from non-petroleum based materials like as I said, oil seeds, basically canola, soybean, sunflower, rapeseeds, etc. Synthetic esters are made from petroleum and reactions from acids and alcohols. So synthetic, because the name is suggests that is not coming from natural resources, it is made from synthetic. However, we can say petroleum is also a natural resource, but it is not coming from vegetables and such kind of resources. So it is made from petroleum, then acids and alcohol, and the reactions with that. Synthetic esters have fully saturated acids, so oxygen stability is very high, so they are not getting impacted when the oxygen is coming into contact of synthetic esters. So that way they are more strong as such as the effect of environment is concerned. Natural esters have unsaturated acids with double CC bonds, so they are having low high oxidation stability, so they get affected little bit earlier with the oxygen. So oxidation of the natural esters happens comparatively faster compared to synthetic ester as well as mineral oils. Both the esters are readily biodegradable with varying degree of biodegradability, and they do not pollute soil or water bodies if they leaks into them. So these are the esters properties. If you look at a comparison of major parameters of the three insulating liquids, this is a very interesting comparison. Fresh point, which is responsible for catching fire of the equipment. For mineral oil, it is 140 degrees centigrade, and for natural esters, it is 275, and synthetic esters, it is 265. Pour point, which is very important for flowability of liquid at lower temperature. Mineral oil is minus 30, natural ester is minus 21, and synthetic ester is minus 57. So if pour point is concerned, synthetic ester are the best suited, means even at minus 57 degrees centigrade, they will remain liquid and you can pour them. So the cooling properties of synthetic esters at uh, uh, sub-zero temperature is best. Density, mineral oil is 0.895, natural ester 0.92, and synthetic ester is 0.965. So density wise, mineral oil are best. They are less dense, so they are more lighter as compared to natural and synthetic ester. Viscosity, again, mineral oil is having 4 to 5 at 100 degrees centigrade. Natural esters is 7.2 to 8.5, and synthetic esters are 6. So natural esters are most viscous compared to synthetic and mineral oil. At 40 degrees centigrade, if you look at, mineral oil is 16.5, natural ester is 32.35, 32 to 35, and synthetic ester is 32. So at 40 degrees centigrade, natural and synthetic esters both are equally viscous, and mineral oil is comparatively much lesser viscous compared to these two. Okay, so if you look at 100 degrees centigrade, the gap between mineral and these two is quite reducing, and if the operating temperature as which is possible with the esters, if it goes above 100 degrees, 110 or 115, then the viscosity will come down close to mineral oil only. So at that temperature, the viscosity will be, I mean, the cooling properties of the material will be as good as mineral oil. BDV is the same for all the three. 10 delta values for mineral oil, it is least, it is 0.05 at 90 degrees centigrade. Natural esters, it is 0.02 to 0.03 in that range. And for synthetic ester, it is highest, that is 0.02. So this, if you can look at, normally a question comes that when the synthetic or natural esters are used, the 10 delta is coming very high. So it means it is not a good insulation. But that is not to be understood like that, because mineral oil material per se is having that property of having low 10 delta, that is 0.05, and synthetic and natural esters by nature are having high 10 delta. So that is something which is not a negative. If we are comparing mineral oil and natural esters for uh, these properties, then we can say we are comparing oranges and apples with each other, which is not a wise comparison. Okay, acidity milligram potassium hydroxide per gram is 0.03, 0.03 for natural esters, and higher than 0.02 for synthetic, less than 0.02 for synthetic esters. Water content in mineral oil, it is less than 40. In natural esters, it is less than 50, and synthetic, sorry, it is more than 50, and synthetic esters also it is more than 50. Biodegradation already I have explained. So this is the comparison of these three. So if the question comes that why I should go for natural or synthetic ester, so parameter wise you can consider this data and decide based on this information. Now coming to properties of esters. So there are three major properties. One is moisture absorption capability, then higher flash point, higher fire and flash point, and biodegradability. And what are the advantage of these properties? Moisture absorption is improving the dielectric strength, that is the property of withstanding higher electrical stress by the material. The moisture in the solid insulation will be less with the esters. The depolymerization, which is directly linked with the aging of the transformer, means how the transformer is getting older is depolymerization. So with the esters, the polymerization process slows down, so the life of the transformer will be much higher as with the mineral oil. Then as they absorb high moisture, so filtration frequency is very low, so your maintenance cost is lesser compared to mineral oil transformers. So ester field transformer, your maintenance cost is very less because you don't have to filter the oil. One more disadvantage of oil filtration is uh, taking the transformer out of the service, and during that period the transformer is not available, so loss of production is another by loss of filtration. So more number of times of filtration, more loss is there in terms of production and revenue. And because of low polymerization, slow polymerization, the life of the transformer improves. So moisture absorption causes these benefit for the transformers. Okay. Now high fire and flash point. With this, because the transformer will catch fire at higher temperature, so you can operate the transformers at elevated temperatures. You need not have to worry about 105 degrees centigrade limit. You can go to a safer, more higher temperatures very safely, at least up to 120 degrees centigrade or even 130 degrees centigrade. Okay, so you can use the transformer on higher loads because the load is increasing, the temperature is increasing. So more load bearing capacity is another benefit of using natural and synthetic ester. Because they have a high flash point, they are having excellent arc suppression capabilities compared to compared to mineral oil. So if any arcing is happening in case of which is common in OLTCs, so chances of catching fire because of arcing is less, And since the arc is getting suppressed, so deterioration of the contacts in the OLTC is also very less. So the maintenance frequency of OLTC will also get extended because of this better arc suppressing property. Since they are fire safe, there is a very little hazard of accidents, fire accidents, and loss of property. So because of this, they are as safe as any dry type transformer. So wherever you are using dry type transformer, there you can use oil field transformers. Mineral oil field transformers you can replace by doing retrofilling with natural and synthetic ester. So you don't have to go always dry type transformers, which are costlier than oil field transformers. So with some marginal increase in the price, you can use synthetic and natural ester in the oil field transformers. Okay, since your transformer is fire safe, chances of fire accidents are less, so the insurance premium of the factory or premises is lower, so there also you are saving indirectly. Okay, biodegradability is the third property. So the disposal of old, used, or scrap material is easy. You're not causing any damage to the mother earth and natural resources, and the water bodies are also not getting contaminated because of leakages and seepages into it. So you are helping environment sustainability of our nature and our earth. So that way is a big contribution. Biggest contribution compared to all of the above is the because of biodegradability. Okay. Now let us look at the property of moisture absorption. So you can see the yellow colored or orange colored graph is for esters and the blue colored graph is for mineral oil. Here are the temperatures on the x-axis, and on the y-axis the moisture content is there. So for mineral oil, say 10 degrees centigrade, you will see only 40 ppm moisture, 40 milligram per kg moisture is allowed or within safe limit. But for esters, it can be 800. So around 20 times more moisture can be allowed in a transformer with natural and synthetic ester. So esters can absorb at least 10 times more water than mineral oil. So since water is getting absorbed, it is not causing any damage to the winding or insulation, and it is not available freely inside the transformer. So it cannot cause any problem in the metallic components like terminals or OLTC contacts or other such paths. So that way, because of this, your transformer is quite strong as compared to the attack and effect of the moisture. Okay. Second is moisture tolerance. Further, we are taking this topic into the deeper level. Is what is moisture tolerance? Means the property of a material of keeping the moisture or sustaining or maintaining the insulating properties uh, as good as a new material, even the moisture is more inside it. So it is more tolerant towards the effect of ill effect of the moisture. So if we look at solubility, C in water in fluids, mineral oil, you can see here, this is ester linkages and approximately water saturation at 23 degrees centigrade ppm. Okay, in mineral oil there are no ester linkages, so only 55 ppm water can get dissolved at 23 degrees centigrade. So what we mean to see, because of ester linkages, the moisture absorption capacity is improved. In silicon oil there are no ester links, so you have still you can have 220 ppm moisture at 23 degrees centigrade without affecting the electrical properties of that liquid. For natural esters, there are three ester links are there. You can have 1100 ppm water absorbed into the material. For synthetic ester, you have four ester links, so 2600 ppm moisture can be there. Okay, so when I talk about ester linkages, we are talking about this kind of molecular structures. So this is the natural ester. The molecular structure of natural ester is like this. Okay, and synthetic ester molecular structure is like this. I know only this much because it is a high level of chemistry. I cannot explain more about this aspect, but it is just for the knowledge sake. You can understand this is the difference in synthetic and natural esters. This is another simulation of water molecules distribution in oil and paper. On the right side, it is ester and paper, and on the left side, it is mineral oil and paper. You can see these blue colors are the water molecules, and you will find that around the paper, the water molecules are less, and in the liquid, the water molecules are more. Okay, so this shows that the ester keeps more moisture into it. Now, let us look at the insulation aging. So there is a property of material as far as the moisture is concerned, that is hydrophile and hydrophobe. So the material which are friendly to moisture are called hydrophilic, and the material which are not so friendly to moisture are called hydrophobic. So they are having phobia against moisture, so they don't like moisture. Mineral oil is hydrophobic, means it is not attracting the moisture, it is repelling the moisture. Your solid insulation, cellulose paper, and esters are hydrophilic, means they like the moisture. And esters is more hydrophilic compared to cellulose and paper. So if in a system where esters is there and cellulose is there, then by nature the water will be attracted by esters in higher quantities as compared to paper. So more moisture will be contained in the liquid than compared to solid. While in mineral oil are not hydrophilic, they are not friendly to the moisture, they repel the moistures due to the presence of triglycerides. So esters can absorb more moisture. Okay, so a paper in the process of aging releases moisture. The external effect of moisture is also there from breather or leakages or from other certain things. The moisture comes inside the transformer. So when mineral oil is there, the because it is not friendly to the moisture, the all moisture goes to the comparatively hydrophilic, which is a paper. So all moisture gets absorbed into the paper, and very little moisture remains into the oil. But in case of esters, because they are more hydrophilic compared to paper, so all the moisture remains in the ester and very little moisture goes to the paper. So in case of ester field transformers, the insulation is drier compared to mineral oil field transformers. So as the insulation is drier, so the performance of the transformer, dielectric properties of the transformer will be much superior as compared to mineral oil transformers. Okay, so let us have a look at this, how the insulation aging happens in mineral oil and in ester oils. So it is a laboratory test. It is a uh, accelerated aging test where samples of the insulation impregnated in the liquid insulation are put at a temperature of 165 degrees centigrade. This image is with ester. So if you look at 38 day and 150 day, the condition of the insulation is not much changed. It is still intact. It is still in shape, and the color is also maintained. While in case of mineral oil, if you look at the 10th day, it is like this, and on 40th day itself, it is decomposed. So just after 10 more days, you will see the insulation in the mineral oil is totally finished. The life has gone, it is dead, it is available in powder form, fragmented. So it is no longer an electrical insulating material. So this is the effect of natural ester on the solid insulation, and this is very clearly depicted in this experiment over here. Other items like conductor is also gets affected because of the liquid insulation. This is a new conductor. This is with mineral oil. These three samples are with mineral oil. Aging test. Okay, you can see these got blackened. This is with synthetic ester and this is with natural ester. So comparatively, if you look at this, they are in much better shape as compared to mineral oil system. So on if conductor also, the aging effect is very less with natural and synthetic esters. Okay, now moisture and aging, if you look at, there is one thumb rule is that if you increase the moisture inside the transformer, so every 1% increase in the moisture of the paper, the aging of the transformer gets doubled. So paper starts decomposing 2 times faster. So if you control the moisture inside the transformer, then the transformer life will be more. So this graph is depicting the deterioration in degree of polymerization of paper insulation. A new insulation will have a dP of around 1200, and that insulation will have a dP of around 200. So between 1200 to 200, the aging of the insulation happens. So if you are maintaining the lower temperature and lower moisture, the rate of aging will be slow. And if you are not doing that, then the aging will be faster. So a normal transformer, if not maintained well, then probably this graph will come. But if you maintain the moisture less than 1%, then your transformer life can be extended by another 10 to 15 years. So a transformer which is normally living 30-35 years can live up to a life of say around 50-55 or even 60 years. So a well-maintained transformer can serve you over a period of 60, 70, even 80 years also. There are some transformers, somebody was telling me yesterday, it is a 100-year-old transformer, it is still working. Okay. So degree of polymerization, this is again a laboratory test courtesy to M&I Materials and Wiedemann. With different samples, this test was performed. With different oils, this test was performed. So dark green is rapeseed oil, lighter green is soybean oil, very lighter is sunflower. Then again a rapeseed oil sample, fourth number. Then there is a synthetic ester in yellow color. Then isoparaffinic trace inhibited mineral oil, dark blue color. Then naphthenic oil, mineral oil. Then naphthenic standard grade mineral oil, non-inhibited, and then naphthenic medium grade inhibited. So such 9 samples were taken, insulation were put into the different these kind of oils, and then the polymerization test was performed, and this is the trend is observed in this. So you will find in all the cases, whether 120 degrees centigrade open or 120 degrees closed, the aging of natural and synthetic esters samples is slower compared to mineral oil samples. Okay, so this depicts that fact which I'm stating about the polymerization of solid insulation in the environment of esters and mineral oils. Okay, now let us discuss about overloading ability. So when you use esters in your transformer, you can overload, continuously overload. I am saying means you don't have to balance between the phases of overload and underload, so that duty cycle of 24 hours, if it is there, it is respected. You can overload continuously around 10 to 20% of your rated rating because of these three properties: flash point, moisture absorption capability, and slower aging rate. So due to higher flash point, the flash point is more than 2 times of mineral oil, and limit of 105 degrees centigrade for mineral oil can be exceeded with ester due to high flash point. So you don't have to worry about that it is going to catch fire when I increase the load. So you can safely increase the load, and you can take the load even up to 120 or 125 degrees centigrade. So that much overloading you can do without any problem. Here it is shown in this graph the hottest spot temperature and moisture in insulation. Okay, so the more the moisture, the ability to overload the transformer is lower. Okay, if the moisture is 0.5, probably you can take the transformer up to 200 degree centigrade temperature. The property which decides the loading of the transformer is basically, other than fire point, is also moisture absorption in the transformer. If the moisture is high, the bubbling inception happens at a lower temperature. The bubbling is a phenomena where the moisture in the solid insulation gets released at temperatures, higher temperatures, in form of bubbles. And as the bubbles are released, these bubbles travel to the Buchholz relay and the transformer get trips. So when the moisture is higher, the bubbling starts at a lower temperature, means at a lower load. So you cannot load the transformer to the higher values if the moisture in the transformer is lower. So this graph is depicting that when you keep the transformer dry, the bubbling will happen at a temperature more than 230 degrees centigrade. But if the moisture is high, say 2.5, then bubbling even can start at around 110 or 120 degrees centigrade. And your transformer, you cannot load more than this limit. Okay, so that is the disadvantage when the moisture inside the transformer is high, which is a normal case with mineral oil. If you use synthetic natural ester, because of their high moisture absorption capability, the moisture in the environment very little, so bubbling inception temperature will be very high. Okay, the third property which makes the transformer capable of taking overload is slower aging. Since overloading does not accelerate aging, so you are not worried about that I am eating away my transformer faster. So your transformer will slowly age compared to mineral oil transformer. So these three properties are helping you in overloading the transformer with natural and synthetic esters. Now let us talk about fire safety. This is the inflammability index of different systems. Water is fireproof, so its inflammability index is 0. PCBs is between 2 to 3. Esters 4 to 5. Mineral oil 10 to 20. Kerosene 30 to 40, and petrol, which is most inflammable material, is having 90 inflammability index. So if you look at these bars, you will find esters are third best after the water and PCBs. Since water is not an electrical insulation, you cannot use in the transformer, and PCBs are banned because of their effect on human health. So you cannot use PCBs. So the best option available as far as fire safety is concerned is the natural and synthetic esters. Again, another depiction of fire safety. If you see here, fire point and flash point comparison, mineral oil is having flash point of 150 and fire point of 160. Silicon oil is better than this, which is having 300 and 340 respectively. Synthetic esters is 270 flash point and fire point 310, and natural esters is best as far as fire point is concerned 360 and flash point as 330. So if fire safety is concerned, natural esters are best suited. So if you are more concerned about having a safe transformer, then natural ester is best. If you are concerned about having a environment friendly transformer, then natural esters are best. If you are concerned about having a transformer for which we don't have to put we don't have to go for a sealed transformer, or we don't have to go to air cell system, then synthetic ester is the next best option available. Of course, I will not discuss about other two because it is known to us. Okay, so if you look at O class, then fire point is uh, less than or equal to 300 degrees centigrade. K class is 300 degrees centigrade and higher, and L is low measurable fire point. So if you look at the classification, this is a calorific value wise classification of these different liquids. So we will watch this video. On the left side, it is mineral oil, and on the right side, it is natural ester by Transal HF, which is a brand of Savita. Both are getting heated by gas flame. Okay, and you will see the mineral oil has started smoking so fast, and natural ester is unchanged. The fire is you can see on mineral oil sample, and biotransol is nothing is happening to it. Okay, the flame is put off from the mineral oil, so source of fire is removed, still it is burning. Okay, the natural ester, nothing has happened till now. So this is a demonstration of fire behavior of mineral oil versus natural ester oil. So you can see that the mineral oil transformer will keep on burning even if you are able to shut off the supply or shut off the load. An arc is got quenched, but the fire will continue. So now you can see the smoke has started coming from this. it has started smoking. Okay, now it is sparking is happening, little bit sprouts of fire are coming up, but as the source is getting removed, it is quenching. Slowly it will also start burning. Okay, now you see as the source is getting removed, it is quenching. Right, so this is a small demo. I show this demo because it is the best way to explain the fire safety with the esters. So now you see both are burning, but ester is burning at a very slow intensity, low intensity, while mineral oil, uh, even at the after 4 minutes, it is still burning at the same intensity. So mineral oil is more dangerous as far as the fire safety is concerned compared to synthetic or natural esters. Now coming to the one aspect of natural ester, which is oxidation instability. Because we said in the previous slides also, it has got unsaturated fatty acids and it has got double carbon bond. So chemically it is not stable. So it means it is very susceptible to the effect of oxygen. So if oxygen is coming in contact with the natural ester, then it gets oxidized comparatively faster. So the result of this oxidation is formation of I mean increasing in the viscosity and uh, forming the gel-like substance. So it gels after some time. Okay, so because of this property, okay, uh, it cannot be used in a non-breathing system, means where the air is coming into contact of the liquid insulation, there you cannot use natural ester. So that is one limitation of natural esters. So you have to go for a non-breathing transformers only. It means either it should have an air cell mounted in the conservator, or it should be sealed, it should be hermetically sealed where there is no breather, and such a transformer is totally isolated from the external environment. So in such transformers, you can very well use natural esters. So other than this one limitation, natural esters is much more superior compared to mineral oil, and also, as I said, up to some extent with synthetic esters also. Synthetic esters, because of their higher oxidation stability, are more robust material, so they are not get affected because of exposure to environment. So that is the property which is making them little bit stable as far as the application is concerned. Now let us come to application aspect and some frequently asked questions. So let us compare first natural and synthetic ester as far as application is concerned. So as I said, you can use natural ester in sealed systems, and synthetic esters you can use in any open breathable system. Means it is as easy to use compared to mineral oil without doing any much modification when you are doing nitrofilling. So you don't have to require any air cell, or you don't have to need a hermetically sealed transformer. Any normal breathable transformer, synthetic ester can be used. Manufacturing care, the same aspect, because oxidation instability, it calls for a little bit care of natural esters when you are manufacturing a transformer, means preventing long exposures of natural esters to the air. Little bit small hourly exposures are not a concern. So it need not be thought that if I leave the natural ester drum open, it will get converted into the gel. Nothing will happen of that sort. The oxidation happens over a very long period of time. And one more aspect of that, the oxidation or gelation is happening at the top of the surface exposed to the air, and it starts getting solid. So with the time, that layer of the semi-solid gel itself acts as a protective covering, and the liquid below that gel remains as liquid as it was. So there is not much worry about this property of exposure to air. However, when a thin film is there, for example, on the tap switch or OLTC contact, if the uh, uh, ester is there, then it forms a film which can increase your contact resistance. So that care has to be taken, that the thin layer of ester is not allowed to dry on live contacts. If you immerse that into the ester volume, then nothing will happen. Okay, so fire safety, as we studied, it is best in all fluids, natural ester, and the second best is synthetic ester. Overloading, life extension, environment safety, both of them are excellent, and they can be used interchangeably for these advantages. Cost economy, synthetic esters are costliest, and natural esters are much cheaper compared to mineral synthetic esters, but costlier than mineral oils. Retrofilling, uh, both the liquids can be used. Only thing with the synthetic ester, you don't have to do any modification into the breathing system. As such, you can use it. And for natural ester, as you know, you have to go for a seal type of arrangement. So you have to modify the transformer little bit so that you can prevent exposure of liquid insulation with the air. So that is application comparison of synthetic as well as natural esters. A new transformer, if you look at the application for hermetically sealed or air cell, you need for natural esters. Uh, you can have the same design, means same clearances, same insulation arrangement up to 33 kV as far as the dielectric consideration is concerned. Cooling design should have an extra margin, okay, because of the viscosity of these materials. If you are using K class solid insulation, like maybe Nomex, if you are using, or fiberglass based insulation you're using, then you can take the operating temperature to even more than 120 degrees centigrade. If you are using thermally upgraded craft for the conductor with these liquids, then you can cross 105-degree limit and you can very well operate the transformer to 120 degrees centigrade. Because they are working at high temperature, so the touch can cause a burn. If somebody touches the transformer, then he or she can get the burn. So human safety of a high temperature adequately is to be considered. Okay. Advantages of new transformer when you go for natural and synthetic esters. What is the advantage? You can go for the higher rating. You can increase the rating of the transformer without increasing the dimension of the transformer. So you can put the transformer in the same floor area as same as mineral oil, but with a higher capacity. Fire safety, you are improving, and you don't go for fire protection equipment, firewall, etc. when you are using esters. Better overloading capability. You can load the transformers up to the higher levels. They are maintenance free. The frequency of filtration is much longer, and you don't have to worry about it. And the operating cost of these transformers, because the filtration frequency is low, the operating cost is also low. So you save on that. So if you calculate the total ownership cost compared to mineral oil transformer, then you will find them they are almost as slightly higher as compared to mineral oil. Okay. Old transformer, what you can do with old transformers, you can do the retrofilling. Okay. So you can do the leftover life assessment by conducting some tests. We can help you in doing that of solid insulation, and based on that, the transformer can be modified for natural ester to make it hermetically sealed, or putting the air cell in the conservator. The old gaskets, it's advisable to replace with nitrile or nitrile bonded cowl gaskets, and mixing with uh, old mineral oil is to be avoided, because that will degrade the synthetic and natural ester of the properties for which we are going for. And then all the leaks to be plugged before going for the retrofilling. So retrofilling is very simple, very easy to do, and with a lot of advantages, like delayed capital investment in the new transformer, because the transformer which you could have replaced within next 2 or 3 years, by doing the retrofilling you can extend that replacement time maybe another 6 to 7 years, 8 years, or even 10 years. So capital investment you are delaying. Then increasing capacity and rating, if suppose your load is increasing or your expansion you are going to do of your facility, then you don't have to replace the transformer, you just replace the liquid insulation with natural or synthetic ester, and you can cater with the increasing load up to 10 or 15%, 20%. Okay, then avoid catastrophic failures and long disruption in service. Environment you are protecting, and you are enhancing safety of your own people and your own property by going for natural and synthetic esters. Some of the questions: why insulation resistance is lower with esters? As we said, they are a different material altogether compared to mineral oil. They are having polar nature, so you will have some creation of poles inside it. So because of that, your insulation resistance comes lower if you compare to mineral oil. But if you look at the standards, especially for example IS 2026 of transformers, nowhere the the acceptable limits for insulation resistance is mentioned, only because all insulation properties like insulation resistance or dielectric, I mean the tan delta or other such parameters, you cannot have one fixed value as a reference, because with the with the type of material, the nature of the material changes, and for them these values will also change. So low insulation resistance is the property of the ester, so nothing to be worried if you are getting the low insulation resistance. Okay, how is the temperature rise performance? If you are doing nothing in your design and going for just replacing the liquid insulation with natural and synthetic ester in place of mineral oil in your new transformers also, then temperature rise you will get little higher, depending upon the transformer rating and all. You can test the transformer up to 5 to 8 degrees centigrade more. If suppose with mineral oil, if the transformer is giving you temperature rise, say 45 degrees centigrade, so with ester, it will test around 50 or 52 or about that value. Okay. Filtration process equipment, yes, normally you can use normal filtration machine, but since it is viscous, so the floating particles can cause dropping in BDV. So you need to have fine filters compared to mineral filtration plant. And since it is viscous, so the capacity of the pump is supposed to be higher compared to mineral oil. Miscibility, can I mix it with mineral oil? Yes, they are 100% miscible. Synthetic, mineral, and natural ester are miscible with each other, but the at the cost of their individual properties. Suppose if you mix mineral oil into the natural synthetic natural ester, then the biodegradability will get questioned. Fire safety, flash point will come down, so it will not give you that good fire performance. Overloading capability will come down because moisture absorption capacity will get compromised. So nothing as such catastrophic will happen. Only thing, you are losing the advantages of going for such a beautiful and superior insulating material. Okay, so at all cost, mixing of mineral oil and natural ester is to be avoided. Okay, general design consideration, as we discussed, up to 33 kV, nothing much major changes are required. You can increase your clearances and cooling duct size by around 5%, and that will be sufficient. But if you go for higher voltages, then the detailed design considerations have to be given when you are designing the transformers. Okay. Now, with data with natural synthetic ester, and we are at the end of our topic. So before we close the program, we request you to be with us and I will take you through different solutions which we are offering. A very quick 1 or 2 slides every solution, and you will get an idea what you do. This is our team. We have Mr. Ravi Zora, located in Gujarat, and he takes care of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Irfan Sheikh, who is based in Nanded, Maharashtra, takes care of Maharashtra and Karnataka. And Gaurav Miraskar, who is in Indore, takes care of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So all your queries you can forward to these people, or you can directly send it to me related to our different solutions and any other requirement also. Our solutions address these three issues. One is electrical fire in control panels. We have fire prevention and overheating protection named Fipress from Streamer Electric, Switzerland. Then we have another challenge which is normally faced by the industry is premature failure and aging of transformers. We have moisture and water in oil, and because of that we are having these issues. So there are two solutions. One is from Streamer Electric, which is Transec, which is called Transec, and it is online drying and moisture management system, which can be easily mounted on in-service transformers. That comes from Streamer Electric AG. Then we have smart drying system from Power Grid Technical Services, and that is innovative technology of on-site drying of transformers by way of low frequency heating, which reduces your drying time around 30 to 40%, and it increases the quality of drying multifold compared to conventional on-site drying systems. Then the third problem is safe and long working of transformers. So we have monitoring. If you monitor, if you have the data with you, you will be able to take some decisions. So following that principles, we have this IoTX online monitoring of performance parameters and condition of transformers. It is a you can say interconnecting platform between the transformer and the cloud network. And with this system, you can monitor your transformer, all the parameters on your smart devices. That comes from Motwane Manufacturing Company. Then we have Eastern Fluids, as we were discussing during the whole program, to take care of your safe and long working of transformers, which is coming from Savita Polymers, both natural and synthetic esters. So these solutions we provide, and ester fluids, there are two brands from Savita. One is Biotransol, which is natural ester, and Transol Synth, which is synthetic ester. We have discussed the properties of natural and synthetic esters, and we had given detailed presentation also. So one good thing with Savita oil is that it is 100% made in India. So Atmanirbhar Bharat, if you go for Biotransol or Transol Synth, you are going to contribute towards making the country Atmanirbhar. Okay. Then online moisture management, we have smart solution in terms of Transec, which is continuous monitoring of moisture in oil and paper, and also removing the moisture along with the monitoring. So this is very compact unit, easily can be mounted on your transformers, and it keeps on working 24 hours without any manual intervention, without any discontinuity to the service. So beauty of this system is that your transformer, you don't have to put it off and do the filtration for days and months together. It will dry the transformer continuously at a uniform slow rate, and it is having smart features like SCADA and web connectivity, and because of that, continuous monitoring in terms of ppm, temperature, and other parameters is possible, and various kind of uh, trends and graphs can be obtained, and based on that, the important decisions can be taken up for your transformers. Okay, then IoTX Motoware digital multi-monitor system we have from Motwane. It is a smart monitoring of transformers working. Parameters you can cover like load on the transformer, what is the temperature of the transformer, if there is any fault is coming, any tripping is happening, what is the oil level in the conservator, what is the humidity level inside the transformer, how much voltage and current is there. So all such parameters can be captured through this IoTX, and it can be made available to your uh, devices through Motoware platform, which is basically a digital platform for compilation and analysis and other such activities of data management. Okay, so storage is available on cloud, so it is your full control is there on the data. Nobody is going to take the data from your security. And then at a time, multiple transformers you can monitor on your one mobile phone. You can have all the data of your transformers on one single sheet. And when you want to install it, it is a non-invasive installation, so you don't have to take the transformer uh, under shutdown for a long time. So this is oil parameters monitoring. Okay, then we have fire and overheating prevention system for control panels, where we have this unique signal gas based technology. These are the self adhesible labels which can be put on electrical contacts, live contacts, and at an activation temperature, say 100 degrees centigrade activation temperature, if the joint is poor, the temperature will increase and slowly it will increase from 25-30 degrees centigrade to higher values, and it will reach activation temperature. At that temperature, this level will get operated, and it will release a non-hazardous, safe to human gas. That gas is captured by this fire prevention alarm system, and the alarm is given to this fire prevention concentrator, and from there this signal is used to your own safety network, fire equipment operating network, or just indication purpose. So you can use the information for your safe operating of your devices as per your own comfort and convenience. So this is a very wonderful technology and solution available for non-stop continuous 24 by 7 monitoring, as against thermal imaging or thermal scanning or radiography or other such methods, where you need a person to hold that device and open the panel and do it manually, which is not that good way of taking care of your devices, because there could be some human error, there could be some delay in monitoring, and it is person based, so the chance of risk is always there. So this is coming from our fire and overheating prevention. I'm thankful for all the participants for coming and attending the program on virtual board, and I'm happy that there are many people who are now regular to our webinars, and they are uh, that is a great encouragement to us. And thank you, Mr. Goodbull, and thank you, Amir, for appreciating our program in the chat box. We'll be coming back to you every Wednesday with new offerings, and with that, this is a effort which we are doing, and we have our own limitation of sharing knowledge, because uh, uh, our bank of knowledge is limited. So we request our dear participants, if they come forward to share their uh, uh, khajana of knowledge and experience with the people, then it will be a great service to the fraternity, electrical fraternity, and it will give us a good motivation. Okay, so few more faculties are planned in coming days, and they will be announcing the programs as soon as we are finalized with the arrangement, and we'll come to you with the new announcements very soon. So thank you so much, and looking forward for your continuous patronage and support, and also to consider our different solutions which we are providing and discussed just this thing. Detailed presentations are available for all the solutions. We can come to you, we can conduct a, individual web meeting for you, or we can share the brochures, and we can have a telephone discussion. All the possibilities are there. Only thing, physical meetings will be a little bit difficult for still few more months, and then probably we can interact on physical basis also. So thank you so much. So I am stopping over here and looking forward to see you in our coming programs. Thanks a lot. Bye bye for now. Thank you. Namaste.